current affairs session. The first topic is on critical mineral recycling. The Ministry of Mines is designing production link incentive scheme (PLI) scheme. Under the PLI scheme launched in the post-pandemic period, so government provide financial incentive to the producer for producing the items demarcated by the government, and for producing that, so this Ministry of Mine is designing a PLI scheme to promote the recycle of critical minerals in India. The PLI scheme is yet to be finalized. Critical minerals are minerals essential for economic growth and national security. So if these minerals are not available or are concentrated in few places, it can create vulnerability in the supply chains. Significance of critical minerals for India: economic growth and industrial development. Resource-based critical minerals are vital raw materials for industry like electronics, automotive, aerospace and renewable energy. Manufacturing, they are essential in making semiconductors, batteries and the magnets. The national security and strategic importance: defense sector. Critical minerals are indispensable for defense technology such as missile guidance system and radar. Reducing dependence, developing local source of these minerals can reduce India's dependence on import from politically sensitive regions. Transition to clean energy. The renewable energy minerals like lithium, cobalt and rare earth elements are crucial for the electric vehicle battery and renewable energy storage. Access to those minerals help India reduce carbon emissions and adopt cleaner energy sources. Technological advancement, innovation. Critical minerals drive innovations in technologies like the 5G network and advanced medical devices. A strong supply chain promotes research and development in cutting-edge technologies. Job creation and skill development. Mining and processing, developing critical mineral resources creates job and enhance the skills. This includes both mining operations and processing facilities. About the PLI scheme for recycling critical minerals. The PLI scheme will focus on recycling e-waste, also known as urban mining, to recover important minerals. The proposed PLI scheme align with recommendations from the NITI-AYOG. The rules complement the battery waste management rules of 2022. The battery waste management rules 2022 requires phased recycling of used EV lithium-ion batteries. Recycling of these batteries will start gradually from 2026, because once they are used, they will be recycled for use again. Okay, so the battery waste management rules or BWMR 2020 requires phased recycling of used EV lithium-ion batteries. Recycling will start gradually from 2026 to foster a circular economy and strengthen domestic supply chain. Key minerals to be targeted include lithium, copper, cobalt, graphite, chromite and silicon. These are called the rare earth minerals or critical minerals. These minerals are essential for clean energy technology like solar PV modules and wind turbines. So energy storage system and electric vehicles. Then consumer electronics. Benefit of recycling minerals: reducing mining needs. Research shows that effectively recycling critical minerals can greatly reduce the need for new mining activities. Environmental conservation: recycling helps conserve the environment and avoid the social and economic impact of opening new mines. Challenges of the PLI scheme for recycling critical minerals. Disagreement on beneficiaries. So high purity extraction. Some recyclers believe only those who extract high purity critical minerals similar to virgin ore should be rewarded by the scheme. Okay. Black mass production. Others argue that scheme should also support the production of black mass, a less pure mixture of minerals from the shred e-waste. So they will be created from the e-waste. So the black materials, also those who produce that, they will also be rewarded. Okay, increase in e-waste. The amount of e-waste in India is increasing rapidly due to growth of solar panels, wind turbines and electric vehicles. Projection by 2030, India is expected to have 340,000 tons of solar panel waste up from 1 lakh tons in 2023. 5,000 tons of EV batteries needing recycling. Legalizing minimum support price, the next topic. So the recent increase in minimum support price for 14 kharif crop have disappointed farmers as they do not adequately reflecting the rising input cost. The minimum support price is a minimum price for any crop at which the government purchases from the farmers and is based on calculations of at least 1.5 times the cost of production incurred by the farmer. MSP does not have any legal basis but has been implemented since 1960s with the following objective: ensuring food security in the country, protection from price drop for farmers, incentivize desirable crop production. Importance of MSP: safeguard against the price volatility. The system of the MSP acts as a tool for the government to control sharp falls and rise in the price of any crops. Surety of minimum price. So the MSP is announced before the sowing season so that farmers can make an informed decision, hence supporting farmers from the distress sell. Control crop surge in supply by offering more price support for those crops so that more and more farmers are tempted to grow these crops. Crop diversification. MSP for crop promotes their diversification and curb import dependence and food inflation. There is a notable increase in the MSP of pulses and oilseeds in 2021 in order to incentivize its domestic production. Food security. The government can use these crops to be sold at government fair price shop at a price lower than the market rate to the below poverty line people at a lower price. Developmental skill like the PM Poshan, ICDS, Anganwadi Service Scheme and the Targeted Public Distribution System TPDS rely on grains procured by FCI at the minimum support price. Limitation of the MSP. Lack of legal guarantee. Farmers cannot demand MSP as a matter of right. The only crop where MSP payment has some statutory element is sugarcane, which comes under the FRP, fair and remunerative price. Issues with the cost of production. Farm activities say that the 1.5 times MSP formula, originally recommended by the National Commission for Farmers headed by Agricultural Secretary M. S. Swaminathan, should have been applied to the C2 cost. cost to the consumers or the farmers. Lack of effective data. The CSCP, Commission on Agriculture Cost and Prices, does not do any field-based cost estimation itself. Ineffective coverage. The government announces MSP for 23 crops only, so the other crops are not covered by the MSP. Highly unequal across state. In 2019-20, roughly 90% of the rice produced in Punjab and Haryana was procured by the government, whereas roughly 1% is procured in Karnataka and Gujarat. Ineffectively implemented. The Santa Kumar Committee, in its report in 2015, stated that only 6% of farmers receive MSP, which directly means that 94% of the farmers in the country are deprived of the benefit of the MSP. Lack of awareness. Niti Aayog on the MSP revealed that only 10% of the farmers were aware of the right price before the sowing season starts. Therefore, legalizing of MSP is needed. Legalizing MSP enables farmers to claim MSP rights enforceable through the courts, improve price realization from the private sector. Okay. So legalizing MSP, okay, increase production of pulses and millets, promotes climate smart agriculture. However, there are major impediments to legalize it. It would lead to a heavy subsidy burden on the government because government has to pay a huge amount. Ineffective grain management. Legalizing MSP will further aggravate the issues related to grain management in India. Market distortion. The natural cycle of demand supply could be distributed. It is more of a one size fit all approach. The ultimate solution for agricultural stagnation in the country is not the MSP. Legalizing MSP alone does not ensure financial stability in farming. Income support scheme like the PM Kishan and price deficiency system like the PM ASA offer more progressive solution. As suggested by the Swaminathan Commission, the method of calculation need to be restructured to make it more profitable for farmers and encourage crop diversification. But at the same time, other aspects such as irrigation, soil irrigation, knowledge in input, etc., need to be considered to impart holistic development and agricultural sector in the country, because a big change is needed in the agricultural sector, because as major part of the population or the workforce depend on agriculture. So agricultural productivity is one of the major important factor, and production and increase in productivity of agricultural crop will definitely help farmers in improving their economic condition and so also the economy of the country. Next topic is a topic in that economy, need for de-dollarization. The article critically examines India's dollar-dominated economic targets and advocates for a shift towards rupee-based goals. China and India are reducing their dependence on dollar reserves. China's US Treasury holding now comprises less than 25% of its 3.2 trillion reserve. Well, India has also increased gold reserve by purchasing 24 tons from January to April 2024, up from 16 tons in 2023. So we have purchased 24 tons as compared to 16 tons last year. What are the reason behind wider acceptance of dollar in the global market? Safe haven. US dollar remains the preferred safe haven currency and is widely used for international transactions. So more and more countries depend upon US dollar and they use US dollar in their trade. Euro's role and limitation. The euro has not filled this role due to the eurozone's rapid expansion without sufficient fiscal control. Aggressive behavior. The Chinese yuan faces trust issues because of China's perceived aggressive behavior. Okay. So, impact of Ukraine war. Due to Ukraine war, Europe has become too reliant on the US for security and pursue monetary independence. The dollar dominates because other countries struggle to unite on alternative approaches. The reason behind the rising trend of de-dollarization, weakening of US dollar after the 2008 fiscal financial crisis in USA, many countries, including the US, printed large amount of money to stabilize their economy. This continued during the COVID-19 pandemic to support economic recovery and prevent further downturn. Following the Ukraine war, the US and its allies imposed sanctions on Russia, which includes freezing or seizing Russian dollars reserves held in international accounts. Lack gold backing, the US has delinked the dollar from gold way back in 2017. Any solution that lack gold backing will not benefit the US dollar in the long term. So, this is why to some extent US dollar is becoming weak day by day. So there is a question of de-dollarization. Potential creation of a global backed reserve currency by the group of nations may diminish the dominance of the dollar in the near future. In 2021, the US Federal Reserve reported that 45% of the US cash dollars are held overseas, mostly in 100 rupees dollar notes by governments, individuals, and criminal groups. Predicting their future moves, likely possibly shifting to cryptocurrency, real estate, or gold, poses significant challenge to the dollar's dominance. Worsening US economic situation, US national debt rose sharply from 7.8% of GDP in 1971 to 120% in 2023. In recent years, the US has been accumulating 2 trillion in additional debt annually. So, what should be the way forward for India? India should gradually reduce its dependence on the Okay, India should gradually reduce its dependence on the dollar in its economy. India should set its national economic goals based on real rupee terms rather than dollar values. This approach aligns with India's capability to manage and control its own macroeconomic policies effectively. Next is that heat wave on India's core industrial sector. The article discusses how India's core industrial sector slowed down in May due to severe heat wave. Despite this, coal and electricity sector grew. The article also mentioned a rebound in factory activity in June as indicated by the HSBC India Manufacturing PMI. Okay. So, how did the heat wave affected India's core industrial sector? Power demand increased due to heat. There was a higher odds of cooling system, leading to increased demand for electricity. Power generation expanded by 12.8%. Coal production boost. Coal production necessary for power plants grew by 10.2% to meet the rising electricity demand. Decrease in other sector. Production in sector like crude oil, fertilizer, and cement declined due to reduced activity. For example, fertilizer production contracted for the fifth consecutive month, highlighting ongoing challenges in agriculture. Construction slowdown. The extreme heat led to decreased construction activities, which lowered the demand for cement and steel. What challenges does the manufacturing sector face? Heat wave impact. The severe heat wave in May significantly lowered factory output to a 3-month low, illustrating vulnerability to extreme weather conditions. Rising cost. Increases in that staff expenses, material cost, and transportation lead to higher manufacturing cost. This has forced companies to raise their selling price, the largest increase observed in over 2 years. Inflationary pressures. The higher costs are contributing to inflation within the sector, complicating prices strategy and potentially reducing competitiveness. Decreased confidence. Future output confidence dipped to a 3-month low indicating worries about ongoing economic conditions despite a rebound in June. That PMI, India's Manufacturing Purchasing Manager Index, which stood at 58.3, up from 58.3, up from 57.5 in May. The upcoming Union budget is an opportunity for policymakers to implement changes to support key industrial sector, because if the budget made provision for this, so industrial sector will definitely get boosted by the support of the government, for which so the all are waiting. Hello. Okay. 2 minute लगेगा. हाँ? Hello. गेला ना लगेगा तुम्हारा. बेटो, बेटा कौन का? तुम्हारा. Then cooking coal. India's Steel Ministry is looking to diversified source of cooking coal, with Russia and Mongolia identified as key new markets. Cooking coal, also known as the metallurgical coal, is essential for producing high quality coke. This substance is a crucial fuel and reactant in the blast furnace process of primary steel making. Characteristics: cooking coal is characterized by low ash, moisture, sulfur, and phosphorus content. It can be classified as a type of bituminous coal based on its chemical composition. Reason for import: India, the world's second largest producer of crude steel, also leads as the largest importer of cooking coal, a critical raw material for steel production. The domestic demand stands at 57 million tons, with the majority fulfilled through imports. By products from the coke producing production, tar, benzoyl, ammonia sulfate, and sulfur. Then Cyclone Freddy. The World Metro Organization has stated that Cyclone Freddy, which struck Southeast Africa in early 2023, is the longest lasting tropical cyclone ever recorded. The longest lasting tropical cyclone. It started near the northern coast of Australia in 2022. Cyclone Freddy made history by lasting as the longest lived tropical cyclone on record, maintaining its strength for an unprecedented 36 days. Energy accumulation: Freddy gathered an extraordinary amount of energy, akin to an entire North Atlantic hurricane season, fueled by warm sea surface temperature in the South Indian Ocean. The cyclone caused extensive internal displacement, affecting around 1.4 million people across 6 African countries. Malawi recorded the highest displacement, impacting 6,59,000 people, and reported significant loss of life, with 1,200 deaths or missing individuals. Then zinc's role in making legumes resilient to climate change. Researchers have discovered that zinc play a crucial role in enhancing the health and climate resilience of legume crops. The study revealed zinc's importance in nitrogen fixation, where atmospheric nitrogen is converted into ammonia, essential for plant growth. The legumes from a symbolic relationship with the rhizobia bacteria, which fix atmospheric nitrogen in root nodules, sensitive to environmental factors like temperature, drought, and soil salinity. The study also identified a transcription factor called the fixation under nitrate that control nodules breakdown when soil nitrogen levels are high. Zinc acts as a secondary signal to regulate nitrogen fixation efficacy, which the zinc sensors fun playing a key role. Okay, so understanding how zinc and fun regulate nitrogen fixation. Okay, can help optimize this process in leguminous crop, leading to increased nitrogen availability, improve yield, and reduce resilience on synthetic fertilizer. This is what it does. Zinc, how it induces signaling, activates the genes, stimulates antioxidant system, increases accumulation of the osmolytes, interacts with the hormones, antioxidant enzyme activities. Okay, draw stress, so alleviates oxidate stress. That's Sambage ROS. All these are the graphically presented. Then Abhay Mudra, Rahul Gandhi invoked the Abhay Mudra during the first speech at leader of opposition in Lok Sabha. Abhay Mudra is a gesture characterized by an open palm facing outward, often interpreted as a signal to stop. This is known as the fearlessness gesture, derived from the Sanskrit word Abhaya, meaning fearlessness. Symbolizing it represents protection, peace, and the dispelling of fear. In yoga, it is believed to promote courage and reduce fear and anxiety. It is common in many South Asian religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. It is particularly significant in Thailand and Laos, where it is associated with images of the walking Buddha. According to Stanford University newsletter, the open palm gesture likely originated as a natural sign of good intention, used since prehistoric themes. The raised unharmed hand propose friendship or peace. In antiquity, it also symbolized power, as seen in the Magma Manos, or the Roman emperor, who used the gesture to legislate and grant peace simultaneously. The gesture appears to have evolved from a universal form of human communication, later integrated into major South Asian religion. Religious significance in Buddhism, Buddha and the Devatas. A legend recounts that Devadatta, a jealous cousin of Buddha, tried to kill Buddha by unleashing a rampaging elephant. As the elephant approached, Buddha displayed the Abhaya Mudra, calming the animal instantly. This gesture thus symbolized not only the calming of the sense but also the absence of a fear. Then polio vaccine. So polio virus is now restricted to rural pockets of Afghanistan and Pakistan, in reappearing in cities due to vaccine hesitancy. The WHO Global Polio Eradication Initiative is expected to miss its 2024 deadline for eradication. Key development in polio vaccines: discovery of poliovirus growth in non-nerve cell. In 1948, microbiologist John F. Enders, Thomas Wilder, and Frederick Robbins found a way to grow poliovirus in non-nerve cell, which was breakthrough that enabled mass production of the vaccine research. So, the Salk initiative. So, polio vaccine. Jonas Salk developed the first successful polio vaccine by inactivating the virus with the formaldehyde. This vaccine induced systemic immunity by being injected into the muscles. The Sabin's oral polio vaccine. Albert Sabin created a live weekend vaccine administered orally. It induced strong mucosal immunity and directly target the virus entry point at the gut. Global impact. Countries used to use a combination of IPV and OPV to combat polio. Okay, OPV is the superior protection where pivotal in high incidence area, while the IPV is used when polio cases dropped to zero due to its enhanced safety. So, notably, both vaccines were not patented, allowing widespread use. So, challenges: despite these efforts, eradication remain elusive due to challenges like uh, misinformation and limited access in conflict zones. Continued global cooperation and vaccination campaign are crucial to achieving complete eradication. So, safer as it contains inactivated virus particles as the inactivated polio vaccine. Okay, induces systemic immunity, protecting blood and organ system. Requires syringe and trained personnel for administration. OPV, easier to administer, needing no syringe or trained personnel. Induces mucosal immunity, offering greater protection at the vital entry site. Rarely the weakened virus can revert and cause the disease. Then next, question answer writing. Stampede at mass gathering continue to pose a significant threat to public safety in India, like the recent EP incident. So, often resulting in tragic loss of life. Unlike the socio-economic, psychological, and administrative factors contributing to such incidents, suggest comprehensive strategy to mitigate the risk of stampede in the future. Recently, a tragic stampede in the Hazrat and the Hathras in Uttar Pradesh claimed the lives of around 121 people, mostly women, during a religious gathering. Stampede, characterized by impulsive mass movement of crowd, often result in severe injury and fatalities. Notably, in 79% of all stampedes in India between 1954 to 2012 occurred during religious mass gathering, as reported in the study Human Stampedes During Religious Festival, a comparative review of mass gathering energy in India. Stampede threat to public safety in India. Loss of life. So, stampede often result in tragic loss of lives, primarily due to overcrowding and the ensuing panic. In crowded events like the religious gatherings or festivals, a sudden surge or bottleneck can lead to people being trampled or suffocated. For example, during the 2013 Kumbh Mela in Allahabad, now Prayagraj, so more than 36 people lost their life and dozens were injured in a stampede at the Allahabad railway station, triggered by pilgrims rushing to board the train. Injury and trauma. Beyond fatality, stampede caused injury from minor to severe. The chaotic nature can lead to pushing, failing, and getting cut in the crust, resulting in fractures, bruises, and internal injuries. Survivors often suffer long lasting psychological trauma from the harrowing experience. For example, in 2013, the Ratnagar temple stampede in Daita district, Madhya Pradesh, left at least 115 people injured, with many sustaining fractures and bruises. Social economic disruption stampede not only affect individuals directly involved but also have broader social and economic repercussions. They can disrupt public order, strain emergency services, and impact local business infrastructure. For example, the stampede at the Felistone Road railway station footbridge in Mumbai in 2017 is a stark example of the social and economic disruption caused by such incidents. Factor contributing to stampede in India: overcrowding due to high population density. India's large population density means that events, especially religious gatherings, often attract massive crowds. This can lead to overcrowding, which heightens the risk of stampede as people jostle for peace. For example, in 2013 stampede at the Allahabad railway station during the Kumbh Mela, where millions gathered for the festival, highlighted how high population density and the influx of pilgrims can lead to overcrowding and subsequent stampede. Poverty and lack of infrastructure, limited financial resources in many regions of India, result in poor infrastructure such as narrow pathway, inadequate exit, and insufficient safety measures, which contribute to the severity of the stampede. For example, in 2005 stampede at the Mandir Devi temple in Maharashtra was exacerbated by inadequate infrastructure. Crucial and religious practices. India's rich cultural and religious tradition often involves large gatherings where safety measures may be overlooked in favor of accommodating as many participants as possible. For example, in 2011, Sabarimala stampede in Kerala occurred during a religious pilgrimage where the sheer number of devotees far exceeded the capacity of the venue, that led to the stampede. Psychological factor: panic and fear. In a crowded setting, any unprecedented event or rumor can quickly lead to panic, causing people to rush without direction, which can result in a stampede. For example, in 2014 stampede at the Gandhi Maidan in Patna during the Dasara celebration saw panic spreading readily after rumors of a live wire causing a crush, resulting in a deadly stampede. Herd mentality: when people are in large groups, they often follow the action of those around them without individual decision making, especially in high stress situations. For example, in 2008 stampede at the Naina Devi temple in Himachal Pradesh was driven by herd mentality. At the group stage, they don't think individually. Desperation and urgency: in situations where individuals feel a strong need to reach a particular place or event quickly, the urgent can lead to chaotic and unsafe movement within a crowd. Administrative factor: inadequate crowd management. Effective crowd management is often lacking with insufficient planning and control measures to ensure orderly movement. This deficiency can create chaotic conditions, increasing the risk of stampede. Deficient emergency preparedness: many events suffer from a lack of emergency preparedness with no clear evacuation plan or readily available medical support. For example, in 2008, Jodhpur stampede at the Chamunda Devi temple highlighted the lack of a well prepared emergency response. Strategy to mitigate the risk of stampede in the future: enhance crowd management, implementing effective crowd control measures such as designated entry and exit points, barriers, and trained personnel can help manage the flow of people and prevent overcrowding. Improve infrastructure: upgrading venue with wider pathway, multiple exit, and robust safety barriers ensure that large crowd can move safely and evacuate quickly in case of an emergency. Emergency preparedness: developing and regulating updating comprehensive emergency plan, including clear evacuation routes and readily available medical aid, ensure prompt and efficient response to the crisis. For instance, after the tragic stampede, hello, again, madam, collect कर दीजिए. Establishing clear evacuation routes and ensuring the availability of medical aid to provide prompt and efficient response to any future crisis. Public awareness campaign, educating the public on safe behavior during large gathering and the importance of remaining calm in emergency can reduce panic and risk of stampede also. Use of technology, leveraging technology such as surveillance camera, real-time crowd monitoring system and mobile app for communication can help authority track crowd movement and respond quickly to potential hazards. For example, during the Kumbh Mela in Haridwar, authorities utilize surveillance camera, real-time crowd monitoring system and mobile apps to track crowd movement and respond swiftly to potential hazards, ensuring the safety of millions of attendants. Leveraging AI for real-time crowd monitoring and predictive analysis has the potential to revolutionize public safety at mass gathering in India. Additionally, enhanced virtual reality training and smart infrastructure will transform event management, making large-scale events safer and more efficiently controlled. This step to be urgently taken because in a large country like India, where on the religious gathering, huge people, huge number of people or large number of people gathered, so stampede become a possibility. So this need to be taken care of. So coming to the MCQ, consider the following statement about the battery waste management rules BWMR 2022. The rule cover all types of battery including electric battery, vehicle battery, right? The BWMR mandate phasing recycling used in 2020, no, from 2026, so B two is incorrect. Producer battery are accountable for managing the waste generated by these products under the BWMR. So 1 and 3 are correct. B. Consider the following statement. The government of India provides minimum support price for Niger. Ujitira business seeds. Niger is cultivated in the Kharif, right? Some tribal people in India use Niger seed oil for cooking. So both 1 and 2 are correct. Consider the following statement. Zinc is essential for human body and play a vital role in immune function, DNA synthesis and the cell. Okay, zinc deficiency is rare and has no significant impact on the human body. Can store excess zinc for long periods similar to the fat soluble. Here only 1 is correct. With reference to the Global and India AI Summit 24, consider the following statement. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is hosting Global India AI Summit 2024, right? The summit aims to position India as a global leader in the AI innovation. Application of AI in space exploration is one of the key focus area of the summit. AI for climate change is the theme of the Global AI Summit 2024. Here only 2 are correct. Consider the following statement. India is the largest importer of coking coal in the world, right? Mongolia is a major coking coal exporting country to India. Only 1 is correct. Consider the following statement. Central government set minimum support price for various crops every year based on formula that takes into account both paid out cost and such as seed, fertilizer, pesticide as well as input value of unpaid family labours. That is not taken into consideration. There is currently no statutory backing of the MSP nor any law mandates it, right? Central government procures almost all the stocks of wheat and rice crop throughout the country at MSP. No, only 1 and 2 are correct, 3 is not correct. Mudra meaning Vishnu Prasad, Bhumi Prasasta Mudra, moment of the Buddha's enlightenment, that Dharma Chakra Mudra, generosity, compassion and the granting of wishes. Abhay Mudra, wearing a protection against evil forces. So here only 1 pair is correct, that is the last one. Consider the following regarding the coking coal. Coking coal is primarily used in the production of steel. India is abundant reserve of high quality coking coal. No. The global demand of coking coal is significantly declining due to increased use of renewable energy sources. Only 1 is correct. Consider the following statement about the polio vaccine. Oral polio vaccine contain live attenuated poliovirus. So here both 1 and 2 are correct. With reference to the water hyacinth, consider the following statement: it grows slowly in aquatic environment, and it blocks sunlight and oxygen from reaching submerged plants. Right? It is helpful in bioremediation of wastewater by absorbing pollutants. So here 2 and 3 are correct. Thank you for watching. Keep watching regular to update yourself on a daily basis.